Hi, my name is Monu and my group member are Rachita, Kathleen and Mona. We put our hard work together and finally it's time to present our slides. Today we are going to talk about what is big data and their privacy, history, areas of big data and their methods and techniques. Next slide please. Okay, so what is big data? This is the digital age and different type of technologies are developing day by day. Because of the different electronic information and communication techniques device and processing data are used in huge numbers. Big data is a collection of large and complex data sets that can be traditional or digital source. Nowadays, the main concern is management and the privacy of the big data. While managing the privacy of the big data, there is some manners of the disclosure of privacy of data. Different types of technologies are implemented for the privacy of data, such as encryption of information. The main motive of big data is to preserve the sensitive information and prevent the disclosure of information. Next slide, please. So now I'm going to talk about the history and literature review of big data privacy. Data breaches. The number of data breaches has been steadily year by year. Measures are constantly being taken by organizations to increase their data security. It's multi-billion-dollar industry. Unfortunately, criminals are constantly finding new methods and techniques to hack into a business database, and human error in constant reality. The information preferred by hackers include name, social security numbers, date of birth, and other personal information used in steal identities. In 1980s, the data security became a significant concern in the 1980s, a time when computer clubs began forming, as did malware. The very first virus were mistakes and error within the algorithm, with ability of replicate itself. After the discovery of their existence, viruses were often designed to communicate a joke or perhaps proof of someone programming abilities. Internet in virus, particularly malicious virus, continued to grow. In 1985, a German computer engineer named Rolf Berger gave the keynote speech of the Chaos Computer Club, currently Europe's largest hacker club, encouraging others to explore this new aspect of computer programming. In 2000, in the 21st century, the first malicious internet activity was transferred into a profitable criminal activity focused primarily on monetary gain. The sowing worm was a computer one that infected millions of internet-connected microwave Windows computers in August 2003. This was closely followed by the infamous MyDome in 2004. In this current decade, data breaches and cyber attacks have grown in scale. The tactics and SS strategies involving major computer attacks were taking place all over the would-be decades. In March 2012, a major credit reporting agency with the United States suffered a large big data breach in history. They had purchased a business called Code Venture, which used public records to collect information. Code Ventures sold information quite regularly in third parties. One third party was a Vietnamese founder service who offered its customer the personal information of many Americans, including financial information and social security numbers. Thank you. Now I would like to hand over our presentation to my friend Kathleen. Thank you.
Thank you, Manu. So I'm Kathleen, and I'm gonna talk about the introduction to big data privacy. Okay, so through the unforeseen levels of increase in the use of big data, security and privacy issues can expand because of the volume, variety, and wide area deployment of the system infrastructure used in big data applications. Moreover, since big data has an increased access to sensitive information, which then can be processed and used to endanger the privacy of individuals and violate data protection laws. So therefore, privacy and security in terms of big data is an important issue. So considering big data, there is a set of risk areas that needs to be considered. These include the information lifecycle, which is the provenance, ownership, and classification of data, the data creation and collection process, and the lack of security procedures. So ultimately, the big data security objectives are no different from any other data types, which is to preserve its confidentiality, integrity, and availability. So for the next slides, Muna will present. So next slide, please.
Thank you, Kathleen. Now I'm going to discuss about areas of big data. Banking and security industry is the first one. To monitoring the financial market activity and catching the illegal trading activities, security industries are making the use of big data. Also, various retail traders use big data for trade analytics, pre-decision support analytics, predictive analytics, and for other purposes. And the next one is media and entertainment. The organization involved in this sector requires and analyze the data along with their behavioral data simultaneously to create a detail of customer profiles. For example, Spotify, which is an on-demand music service, uses a Hadoop big data analytics to collect data from the user and to provide the recommendation to individual user. Next one is healthcare sector. Big data is helping medical organization by handling electronic health records of the people safely and accurately. When records are provided accurately, patients will get better service and error rates will decrease. Along with that, for the faster identifications and efficient analysis, healthcare information of patients, also big data is used. Next slide, please. Similarly, next one is for education sector. Various universities has deployed a learning and management system, which helps to track how much time students spend on different pages, progress they have made when they log on to the system. Similarly, used for measuring the variables such as teachers' performance, subject matters, behavioral classifications, and others. And the next one is for insurance sector, for providing the customer insight for a transparent and simpler product. Also, the big data is used. It analyzes and predicts the customer behavior through the data derived from various sources. Also, big data allows for better customer retention from insurance companies. And the last one is for transport sector. Private sectors use big data to gain competitive advantage, technological enhancement, and for the revenue management purposes. Similarly, government uses big data for traffic control, route planning, intelligent transport system, and for the management of the congestion. Next slide, please. And the next topic I'm going to talk is about big data privacy practices, which can be done by using the private clouds. Cloud simply can be defined as a process of storing and accessing the data over the internet rather than from the hard disks of the computer. As there are huge quantity of data in organization, they can use cloud service. It is the best thing to keep data on premises. Another one is anonymized data. The process of either encrypting or removing personally identifiable information from dataset so that the people whom the data describe remains anonymous is anonymized of data. One of the way anonymization can be accomplished is by encrypting the data elements. And other method is by removal techniques. Similarly, the next one is by performing the social engineering audits. It looks for internal data and security breaches, which simply means information accessed without authorization. Sometimes employees of the organization share highly confidential data to the individuals or outsiders inappropriately. These are the reasons for including social engineering audit. Next slide, please. Next one is internal security. The employees of organizations are not trying to leak information, but there are numerous ways they can unknowingly do it. So, while hiring or authenticating the employees with sensitive data, screening of potential employees as well as background check must be conducted. And the next one is protect authentication gateways. One of the most common factor that leads towards data breach is because of the weak authentication mechanism. So organizations should ensure that there is no broken authentication which can be exploited by the unauthorized user. And the last one is avoid collecting too much data. Organization must only collect the data which are really required so that it will not record or delete all the unnecessary personal details of the customers. Thank you. And the next slide will be discussed by Kathleen.
So thank you, Muna. This is Kathleen again, and I'm gonna talk about the challenges and issues faced by big data privacy. Since big data is widely used and the IT age is growing in an exponential manner, privacy and security are big challenges which comes along with the utilization of big data. In today's environment, big data privacy is a big concern since a very large amount of data is being utilized. Data collection, storage and management, transmission, analysis, and data destruction are some of the challenges faced by big data. Topics like real-time security and compliance monitoring, privacy-preserving data mining and analytics, as well as the secure data storage and transaction logs are also going to be discussed in this presentation, as well as in our report. So for the first challenge, it is the storage and management challenge. To explain this one, so for users to ensure cloud server secure, password of account is utilized for data security and management. These also mean that there is a need for safer distributed schemes with trusted storage and robustness. And the second one is transmission and sharing challenges. So to explain this one, a lot or most private companies and other institutions are reluctant to share their operating and user data. So obstacles may still include reputational considerations as well as conservative culture. Thus, a wide range of data sharing is not always a good matter. So without a secure environment and trusted technology, it would be a disaster for data science. So for the third one and the last challenge that we found is the analytical challenge. So to add something about the explanation in this slide, it says that distribution storage of big data also increases the risk in data analysis process, specifically for real-time big data applications such as social networks, intelligent transportation, navigation, stock analysis, and so on. So the requirement of timeliness for data stream analysis is a greater challenge to encryption methods and security protection. So I've discussed the challenges and issues. So the next few slides are going to be discussed by Rachita. So next slide, please.
Thank you, Kathleen. So my name is Rajita and today I'm going to explain about privacy preservation methods or techniques to solve the issues explained by Kathleen. The first techniques to solve the issues of big data privacy is randomization technique. It is the process of adding noise to the data, which is generally done by probability distribution. It ensures against the accidental bias in experiment and produces comparable group. It is generally used for large-scale data analysis. The second one and old technique is data encryption. We all know that big data means big risks. So data encryption is the method that translates data in another form. It protects the data and convert plain text into cipher text. Encryption can be adapted to safeguard the privacy of the user. There are generally four approaches for encryption. They are attribute-based encryption, homomorphic encryption, storage path encryption, and uses of hybrid clouds. The third technique of big data privacy is data anonymization. It is the process of protecting private or sensitive information by erasing or encrypting identifiers that connect an individual to store data. It is the process of modifying data before it is given for data analytics. It includes k-anonymity. It is one of the data anonymization method. It is the process of modifying data before it is given for data analytics so that the de-identification of the data is not possible and indistinguishable records if an attempt is made to de-identify by mapping the anonymized method with external effects. As we can see in the table, the information of an individual is enclosed with the zip code. The another method is AL diversity. It is also the method of data anonymization. It is a method of publishing data about individuals while limiting the amount of sensitive information disclosed about them. It reduces the granularity of data representation. We can see in the picture that the name of the individual is disclosed, and instead of that there is a zip code for that. One of the most recent technique to maintain the privacy of big data is differential privacy. It is most widely used. It is used to obtain information without revealing the personal identity. It is a technology that provides researchers and database analysts a facility to obtain the useful information from the databases that contains the personal information of people. It is widely used in various organizations for making decisions. The differential privacy can be applied to everything from recommendation system to location-based services and social networks. Apple uses it to gather anonymous usage insights from devices like iPhone, iPads, Macs, etc. It also allows a company like Amazon to access the personalized shopping preferences while hiding our sensitive information about our historical purchase list. As you all know that big data privacy is one of the main concerns today in the digital world. It is widely used by various organizations to make better decisions. The big data is analyzed for bits of knowledge that leads to better decision and strategic moves for overpowering business. In this presentation, we have investigated the privacy requirements in big data, privacy challenges, and big data privacy technique to solve the various issues. The maintenance and privacy of big data is a great challenge. It can result in issues such as lack of transparency, false analytics results shared, unplanned disclosures of data, and so on. There are a number of technologies built to solve those issues and maintain big data privacy, but the existing techniques are not enough to solve the big data privacy problems. So there can be lots of research done in future to maintain the big data privacy, as it is the main concerns now in the digital world. Here are the differences from where we get lots of information about big data privacy. Thank you.